Hey, this is the C&D channel. I'm Chris. This is MMA for you. I'm going to be doing my predictions for Invicta FC 2, which is going to happen on July 28th. It's going to stream live. I believe it's at 7 p.m. Eastern Time, 4 p.m. Pacific Time on InvictaFC.com. Their first card was awesome. Fights like Leslie Smith versus Kaitlin the Young were awesome. I like Jessica Penny versus Lisa Ellis Ward. Some of the grappling was really good. And quite honestly, this card looks really strong as well. It's got some prospects. Sara McMann, I think she's awesome. Alexis Davis is a high-level fighter. I think Carmouche is a really good fighter as well. Amanda Nunes is awesome to watch. I like Sarah DeLelio. So yeah, this is a pretty good card. And there's a good 14 fights on there. And I believe they're going to show all of the fights as well. So that's also really cool. So yeah, I'm actually, the other day asked me, what are you looking forward to in MMA? And I actually said this card. I was, a lot of the big fights that are happening, I'm not super interested in, like Jones, Henderson. I'm going to watch it, but it's not something that's just like, wow, it's not like Anderson Chael. I was really looking forward to that. But there wasn't too many fights I'm super looking forward to. So, yeah, I'm actually looking forward to this. Let's just get started. Okay, we got Shayna, the Queen of Spades Baszler versus Sara McMann. Baszler hasn't fought since November 2010, but she's on a 4-fight win streak, and she has really creative submissions. I mean, she was doing twisters before the Korean Zombie did that one on Leonard Garcia. She has a really good guard game. I remember even when she fought like Sara McMann. She had this weird like north-south choke, but with her knee on her neck. I mean, it was really different. It was really cool. She has 13 out of 14 wins. 13 of them are by submission. I know she trains with Barnett as well. I don't know if she's doing it for this camp, but and it's also contested at 135 pounds. I'll definitely make it clear what weight class they're fighting at. Sara McMann, 5-0 undefeated record, Olympic silver medalist. I say this all the time with her, but this girl does like the rock. If it's a WWE reference, but she does like rock bottoms on her opponents. I mean, seriously, she'll like grab them and just slam them to the ground. Her wrestling is top notch. I can't see too many of her opponents being able to stop her takedown. She has good top control as well. I kind of wish she'd show off her stand-up a little more. In her last fight, geez, I forgot who it was against exactly. But, Asian girl, I don't think it's Akano. Geez, I forgot who it was. I'm blanking out there, but, she actually showed some pretty good, pretty decent jab, She looks like she'll have some power. I kind of wish she'd stand with her opponents more. There's certain opponents that also she's fighting that are mainly jiu-jitsu based that she can test her stand-up, and get the experience with her stand-up in a real MMA fight against. Like Baszler. I love Baszler, but she's not going to be this huge stand-up threat to Sara McMann. It's not like McMahon's going to get like knocked out by her. I mean, anything can happen in MMA, but looking at it like I just really analyzing the way that Baszler fights. She's mainly grappler. So I would like to see McMann practice, do a little more stand-up against these opponents that, I guess let her. You saw against, Tyron Woodley versus Nate Marquardt, for example. It's like, Woodley would strike with him, and then they take him down, and it's like he's still. You can tell that he's not confident in the stand-up, and I really do feel that a large part of it is because he wasn't working on the stand-up during the times that he could have earlier in his career, as he kept fighting higher competition. Guys like Daly, Marquardt, Jordan Mean were such stand-up threats that obviously he can't work on them. But because he wasn't able to work on them, work on it like before, it cost him in the future. And obviously you can tell he's still kind of uncomfortable there. That's what I'd like to see Sara McMann do here, is work on her stand-up a little more against Baszler. Especially since Baszler is a threat on the ground. While I think that McMann can take her down with relatively ease, that's also the ground is where Baszler most likely would want to fight, or is at least the strongest. I do have Sara McMann winning this one. I'd one day like to see her fight Ronda Rousey, to be perfectly honest with you. I think there's some stuff with in her jiu-jitsu that she can still work on. I remember in the last fight, she's, her opponent's was going for a triangle choke, and her leg was over McMahon's shoulder for far too long than it probably should have been. To me, that just kind of showed that she still needed some work there. Okay, next fight after that, we have Hitomi, Girl Fight Monster, Akano, and I'll also be saying all the nicknames here too, versus Alexis Davis in a bantamweight 135-pound bout. Both these females have more of a jiu-jitsu base. I remember just watching the other day Alexis Davis's grappling match against Kyra Gracie. But Akano, out of 18 wins, 14 are by submission, 4 by decision. She's 37 now, though, and her stand-up's not that good, but her jiu-jitsu's really good. Alexis Davis, though, I got her winning this. She's 27 years old, trains at Cesar Gracie. She has some strong BJJ, and Strikeforce vet. I mean, she beat Amanda Nunes and some other really good competition as well. She's pretty resilient. If you watch the Kaufman fight, I mean, she was getting punched in the face a lot, and she still kept coming forward. It's a very Cesar Gracie thing, I guess, because I remember Lizzie Smith was like that. The Diaz brothers are kind of like that as well. But yeah, I think Alexis Davis can beat up Akano on the feet and definitely hold her own on the ground. If not, especially if she gets on top, I think she can win the top game as well. So yeah, I got Alexis Davis winning this one. Okay, next fight after that, Liz Gorilla Carmouche fights Kaitlin Young at 135 pounds. I like Kaitlin Young, and her last fight against Leslie Smith was awesome. She has really good Muay Thai. I especially like her kicks. She has really good kicks. She trains at Minnesota Martial Arts Academy, and she's only Kaitlin Young's only 26. However, stylistically, I favor Carmouche here, just because she's more of a grappler and a wrestler. With Carmouche, she's really strong. She's just this really strong woman. She's getting into clinch, has good ground and pound. I mean, she just killed her last opponent, Ashley. Something or another. I forgot her last opponent. Obviously, the experience disparity was pretty huge, but when she takes you down, she can keep you down there and rain down punches. I mean, you got to remember that Carmouche did really well against Marlus Kunin for close to 4 rounds, taking her down, getting mount, throwing ground and pound, and she kept doing that to her. I expect Carmouche will be able to take this fight to the ground and get some good ground and pound. Like I said, Kaitlin's pretty tough. I don't think she'll get a finish, but I think she'll be able to do that for 3 rounds. So yeah, I got Liz Carmouche, Gorilla, winning this one. Okay, next fight after that, Raquel Rocky Paluli fights Amanda Lioness of the Ring Nunes. The only fight I've seen of Paluli was her against Sarah McMann, and that was a really cool fight. Raquel she came off very game. Kind of brawled a little, but that was cool. She's relatively inexperienced as well. So, but she does have some pretty good stand-up, actually. Both the losses are by submission, but I don't think she's got to worry too much about a ground threat from Nunes. With Amanda Nunes, did I say they're fighting at 135? Anyways, they're fighting at 135, and out of 6 wins and 2 losses, 6 of those wins are by KO or TKO. She's only 24 years old, training at AMA with like the Miller brothers. They train there, for example. She does have really good boxing. I remember when she pretty much TKO'd Julia Budd in just like less than a minute. That was pretty awesome. At 135, I still question her cardio though. When she fought Alexis Davis, her cardio looked a bit suspect, but I think it was her first time fighting at I don't know if it's first time kind of to 135. But her cardio looked kind of suspect there. But nonetheless, I'm going to go with Amanda Nunes to win this one. Okay, next fight after that, Sara the Monster Dell'Olio fights Vanessa Porto. I'm going with Dell'Olio to win this one. I remember her ground game's really strong and her top control is really good. I was really impressed in her last fight against Mariscal. Her back control was just really good. I mean, she would just take her back. And I believe her last fight at Mariscal was a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, had a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu base as well. She's also a finisher as well. She has 1 TKO win and 4 submissions. And she'll pour on some pretty heavy ground and pound if she gets on top of you. She's also just really aggressive. She really pushes forward. And she has a crazy look to her, too. I gotta point that out. Which is fun. I think I said it last time in like the post-fight for the first one, if whatever you gotta do to stand out, that's what you gotta do. Vanessa Porto, though, has a lot more fights than Dell'Olio. She has a 14-4 record, 3 wins by KO or TKO, 10 wins by sub. She's coming off a 4-fight win streak. From what I saw from her, she does have strong submission abilities. And this fight's at 135. Her wrestling was actually pretty good. Her top control and her ground pound were solid as well. So it's a really interesting style matchup here. I noticed in this card you're going to get a lot of grapplers fighting each other. And this fight's really no exception. But I have Sara the Monster Dell'Olio winning this one. Okay, next fight after that, Ayaka Hamasaki fights Lacey the Lady Schuckman at 115 pounds. Hamasaki is undefeated, 7-0 record. She trains with like Megumi Fuji and Hitomi Akano at Abe Ani Combat Club. She's 30 years old. Primarily, you work with like Fuji and Akano. The ground game is going to be pretty good. With Schuckman, she has a 7-4 record, 1 win by TKO, 4 wins by sub. She's only 24 years old. She is taking this fight on short notice, actually. Hamasaki was supposed to fight someone else. I forgot who at the moment. This one, I didn't get to see too much from these two. I'm going to go with Hamasaki, especially with her grappling game. Okay, next fight after that, we have Barb Little Warrior Honchak versus Bethany Marshall at 125 pounds. What I saw from Honchak was pretty interesting. She's 32 years old on a 4-fight win streak, but she has good Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and some decent stand-up. Her only pro loss is to Kat Zingano, and her only amateur loss was to Jessica I. She's beaten like Roxanne Mataferi and Felice Herrick. One thing I noticed with Honchak, she was really flexible. That's one thing that really stood out to me. With Bethany Marshall, she's 4-0, undefeated, 3 wins by sub, 1 win by decision, and 24 years old. She also has some pretty strong Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu as well. This one's really hard for me to call. Jeez. I was reading something on Marshall the other day. I was really cool on MMA Junkie. You know, she does actually. I think she started out with Muay Thai, and then her instructor advised her to try grappling as well. Jeez, this one's really hard for me to call. I'm gonna go with Barb Honchak though. You know, when the only losses are to like Jessica and Kat Zingano, I gotta go. I gotta go with Honchak to win this one. Okay, next fight after that, Julia the Jewel Budd fights Elena Nelson at 145 pounds. Okay, the thing with Elena Nelson, she's 2-2. She has 2-2 record, 1 TKO and 1 decision. Or, jeez. Yeah. And she's actually on a 2-fight winning streak. She uses, when I saw from her, she uses a good amount of kicks, and she has some pretty solid kickboxing. Julia Budd's, the Jewel Budd, has also a 2-2 record, 1 TKO and 1 decision victory. She's fought in Strikeforce. She has strong kickboxing. Her wrestling's improving. You got to see that against Jermaine the Randami. She was actually hitting some single leg takedowns on the Randami. So she's definitely working on the grappling aspect of her game. Of course, she got armbarred by Ronda Rousey. But, you know, it's losing to someone like Rousey isn't like the worst thing to ever happen, you know. She's actually the nutritionist for like Rampage, among other fighters, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, I liked what I saw from Julia Budd. I'm gonna go with her to win this one. Like I said, strong kickboxing, and she's improving her overall grappling and wrestling game. So yeah, Julia Budd for the win here. Okay, next fight after that, Carla Esparza fights Sara White Tiger Schneider at 115 pounds. You know, Schneider has a really deceiving record because she has a 6-5 record. Her base is American Jiu-Jitsu though, and she's on a 2-fight win streak. In her last fight, she fought Sally Krumdiak, if I'm not mistaken. And it was cool. She was on her back and showed some really awesome Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu from her back. I want to say she went from like triangle choke to armbar or something like that. Again, wants to fight again, but it was really cool. You know, it's on Invicta FC 1 actually. But I've been really impressed with Carla Esparza. She has really strong wrestling. Trains at Team Oyama. Is only 24 years old, and her top control is really good. I saw her fight with like Felice Herring. I think that Esparza is going to win this one, actually. I think in wrestling, I think she'll be able to take down Schneider and avoid the submission attempts. That's really what I'm banking on. But once again, you know, you kind of got this like grappler versus grappler thing going on here. So, but yeah, I'll go with Carla Esparza to win this one. Okay, on to the prelim card. South Valley's own Angelica Chavez fights Nicdali, the Night Queen Rivera-Calanoc. Gotta be honest with Nicdali, I'm not impressed with her style. She likes to, a lot of times she'll clinch against the cage, try to like get a takedown, but it seems like she still struggles to complete her takedowns. She's coming off a loss to Amy Davis. Oh, yeah, and they're fighting at 105 pounds. So Angelica Chavez, I gotta say this too. I think she's smoking hot for one thing, and actually, the Night Queen is actually no, she's attractive as well. But yeah, now back to the predictions. With Chavez, she has a 4-1 record and 4 wins by submission. She lost her last fight against Diana Real. Diana Real was able to get top control on Chavez and, you know, and really keep her there on her back. Despite Chavez having some pretty good Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. This one's, you know, this one's tough to call, kind of. I'll go with Angelica Chavez here. Like I said, I'm just, you know, it's nothing personal. Just I have not been too impressed with Rivera-Calanoc's style. You know, clinch against the cage, try and complete a takedown. Even against like Amy Davis, you know, Amy Davis is primarily, you know, a stand-up fighter, and she managed to get like this really cool like Kimura on her. You know, and like I said, Davis isn't really, you know, she's not, you know, everyone's working on everything, but you know, her base really is in stand-up, and she managed to submit her. So yeah, I'll go with Angelica Chavez to win this one. Okay, next fight after that, Sara Cheesecake Morris fights Raquel Rocky Pennington. Morris is a 2-0 undefeated record, and she was 3-0 as an amateur. 2 of her wins are by TKO. She's only 24 years old. What I saw from her, and here's the thing, like I watch a lot of these girls on YouTube, so like yeah, I don't have the greatest base, or you know, I don't get to see like this abundant amount of fights from these girls. Sometimes I'll just watch like one fight. Sometimes it's one where some of these girls are losing. So it's, you know, I can only predict based upon what I've seen, you know. And like, and I said this in the first Invicta FC card. I'll say it here. Like, that's not to say these girls could have improved a lot and just show me a totally different game. What I saw from Morris, though, she was good in the clinch, and a lot of times I saw her against the opponent she was against. She was really like trying to like overpower her. With Pennington, she has a 1-1 record. She recently lost too, actually. I think it was just like last month. You know, she has a 7-1 amateur record, only 23. I liked her Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. It looks like she prefers chokes. I remember, and she likes to kick as well. Or in the fight I saw, she was doing a lot of kicking. She also won with a really nifty triangle choke. I wish I can point out who the opponent was, but she had a really nice triangle choke as well. I'll go with Raquel Pennington to win this one. Okay, next fight after that, Jocelyn the Gun Duke fights Susie Montero. Jocelyn Duke has a 5-2 amateur record. 3 of those wins are by submission. 1 of them are by TKO. The other one by decision, and she's 25. With Montero, she has 1 pro MMA bout. She's 30 years old, and oh yeah, and this is at 135 pounds. I keep missing that. And if I'm not mistaken, I know she trains at American Top Team, and I think she might be one of the instructors there as well. I'll go with Susie Montero to win this one. Okay, next round after that, Cheryl Chan fights Jocelyn Lights Out Lybarger. Yeah, I was reading some stuff on the Lybarger twins. You know, she has a 4-2 record. Jocelyn has a 4-2 record. 1 win is by KO, and 3 of them are by decisions. 26. She has some pretty good wrestling. And this is at 125 pounds. When I saw her striking, though, she was kind of just winging punches. Obviously, she's still an amateur, though. So, you know, like I said, if I'm criticizing, you know, I'm not trying to criticize. It's just, this is what I saw. Obviously, a lot of these girls are, like, not very experienced, so you can't expect everyone to have, like, awesome stand-up or awesome wrestling or awesome jiu-jitsu or whatever. So, if I say something negative, it's only because, like, this is what I see, but I understand that they're still new in the sport and have the potential to get better. But moving on, with Cheryl Chan, she has a 6-2 amateur record with all 6 wins by submission. 2 of her losses are by TKO, and she's 33 years old. So all fights win or lose, and in a finish. She does have good Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. I saw her, the fight I saw her in, she showed really good transitions on the ground and just good overall submission ability. I'm going to go Cheryl Chan to win this one. Okay, and finally, Jessica Philippus fights Liz Lightning McCarthy at 105 pounds. With Philippus, she has a 7-1 amateur record. 5 of those wins are by submission, 2 are by decision. She's 29 years old, and she showed some solid Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu from what I saw. McCarthy, 6-0 undefeated amateur record. 3 of those wins are by submission, 2 are by TKO, and 26 years old. I really liked what I saw from her, actually. She's really strong from her back. She pulls guard a lot. But I saw her doing, like, flying triangles and flying arm bars on some of her opponents and hitting them. Because of that, because of, like, that creative submission ability, I am going to go with Liz Lightning McCarthy to win this one. Okay, that's pretty much it for my predictions for Invicta FC 2. If you have any comments, just leave them below. And that's it for MMA for you. Thank you very much.